The studio lights blazed bright, too bright. The air was thick with tension. Millions were watching live. Lindi Li took a slow breath. Her hands trembled beneath the desk, but her voice was steady as steel. "Governor Walz," she said softly, almost whispering, "would you like to tell the American people what really happened at the veterans' home in 2020? The governor froze. For a moment, the mask slipped. Cameras zoomed in, capturing the flicker of fear in his eyes. And then, he slammed his hand on the table. "You lying B*TCH. He shouted. The entire studio went silent. Gasps echoed. The host's mic fell. And America watched the truth crack open before their eyes. 3 months earlier, Lindi had been a quiet journalist. A believer in truth, in justice, in the power of honest storytelling. She wasn't famous, she wasn't rich, just a woman who refused to be silent. She had lost her father, a decorated veteran, in that same veterans' home during the pandemic. The reports said it was natural causes. But when she visited the place, what she found broke her heart. Empty medical logs, locked storage rooms, and files stamped confidential, governor's office only. Lindi knew something was wrong. She started digging. Night after night, she worked under dim light, reading, comparing, connecting dots no one else dared to touch. What she discovered was explosive. Documents showing how funds meant for veterans' care were redirected, covered up by fake audits and misleading press statements, all under the direction of Governor Tim Walz's inner circle. And that night, on live television, she decided to tell the world. "Governor," she said as the cameras rolled, "you claimed you stood for veterans, for honor, for truth. But your office approved budget cuts that left our soldiers without medicine, without proper meals, without dignity. And when whistleblowers tried to speak up, you silenced them." Walz's eyes hardened. "That's a lie." "It's not," she replied, lifting a single sheet of paper. "This is your signature. These are your orders." For a split second, the governor's smile vanished. His face turned red. He looked cornered and desperate. "You lying B*TCH. He screamed again, slamming his fist against the table. The mic rattled, and producers rushed to cut to commercial. But it was too late. The world had heard it. Within minutes, social media exploded. Lindi Li started trending. Clips flooded every platform. Some called her a hero. Others called her reckless. But one thing was clear, she had forced the powerful to tremble. The next morning, Lindi's inbox was filled with threats. Anonymous calls. Warnings to back off. Her colleagues distanced themselves. Networks refused to re-air the footage. Sponsors pulled out. But something incredible happened. Veterans from across the country began speaking out. Men and women in wheelchairs holding faded photos of their brothers and fathers. Nurses who had worked in those homes came forward with testimony. Documents leaked, one after another. Lindi realized she wasn't alone. Her courage had lit a fire in others. One evening, a letter arrived at her small apartment. No return address. Inside, there was only a single note written in shaky handwriting. "Greater than, my son died in that home. Thank you for giving him a voice." Lindi wept that night. Not from sadness, but from the weight of truth finally breaking through the silence. Weeks later, investigations began. Committees called for hearings. Governor Walz appeared again on TV, but this time, he was defensive, stammering, facing the storm he had once mocked. Lindi sat quietly in the back of the hearing room, her notepad resting on her lap. She wasn't there for revenge. She was there for justice. For every family who had been silenced. For her father. When the governor was finally asked, "Did you authorize these budget cuts?" He hesitated. The cameras zoomed in once more. And this time, he couldn't lie. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarmed Lindi. Flashlights, microphones, chaos everywhere. She smiled faintly and said, "Greater than, the truth isn't comfortable. It's not polite, but it's necessary. Because silence protects the powerful, and truth protects the people." The video of her words spread like wildfire, touching millions. And that night, as she stood under the quiet sky, Lindi Li whispered to herself. "Greater than, Dad, I did it. The world finally knows. If you believe in courage, if you believe that truth still matters in a world full of lies. Right finger like this video, share it, and let the world hear her voice. Because sometimes, One voice is all it takes to break the silence.